Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show today. And today, this Cricket Happening Show, it is going to be the first day report on the test series that started yesterday between Bangladesh and New Zealand. And I'm going to report on the first day's play of the first test match between Bangladesh and New Zealand, which was played at the Zahoor Ahmed Chowdhury Stadium in Chittagong. And as you know, it was a new strip. Nobody knew what was in real store, and the Zahoor Ahmed Chowdhury Stadium was completely refurbished. As you know, they are having the Bangladesh are going to hold are the hosts of the 2040 T20 World Cup. They made lots of improvements, and well, it was played here. Well, I can just tell you in a nutshell that New Zealand were doing well till such time their score was 244 for 2 just before close of play. And before close of play, when they lost 3 quick wickets to the spinners, and that of big wickets of Taylor, Williamson, who actually got his 4th test century under his belt, and also the captain Brendan McCullum, stumps on day one represented a picture where one could very, very clearly say that Bangladesh got the honours on the first day, with New Zealand finishing at stumps on day one of the first test match here of this test series at 280 for 5. Now just looking at the game here, but it was very good that the rain stayed away and there was not much of an interruption. New Zealand were the ones who actually won the toss and they decided to bat first on this docile surface. Now one thing I would like to say for New Zealand, there were 2 debutants. One was Corey Anderson, the left arm seamer, and Ish Sodhi, the right arm leg spinner, made their debuts for New Zealand. As far as Bangladesh was concerned, as expected, the Marshall Ayub, who has been scoring so heavily in the domestic circuit, is also a part-time off spinner, which we also saw he bowled 2 overs. He got an opportunity, so he made his test debut. And one thing that we talk about test debuts, about players, also one should really mention the fact that S. Ravi of India actually made his debut as an international umpire yesterday. So just talking about this game here, as I said, New Zealand won the toss, elected to bat, and for Bangladesh, well, they went with a. They started off. In fact, Mushfiqur Rahim is a clear judge of a real cricket pitch, no doubt about that. Because what he realized that when Peter Fulton and Rutherford were playing the pace bowlers Robiul Islam and Rubal Hussain with absolute ease, he did not waste even any time. After 5 overs itself, when the new ball was new, he summoned his spinners into the attack. But the partnership yielded 57 runs, with Rutherford playing some very good strokes. Fulton was compact, but also not letting any loose delivery go harmlessly, in the sense not letting any loose delivery go unpunished. Used to do that, and Hamish Rutherford was also playing, and definitely we could see that the spinners, as if you look at the New Zealand innings of 280 for 5, the amount of what Mushfiqur Rahim did is he slowly noted that this pitch is something which is for the spinners, and he had his slowmen. In fact, if you look at his the scorecard and the bowling figures, Abdul Razak 31.5 overs, 4 maidens, 100 runs and 2 wickets. Sohail Ghazi, the right arm off spinner, 23 overs, 4 maidens, 1 for 56. Shakib Al Hasan, 8 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 34. Marshall Ayub, as I said, is a part-time spinner, 2 overs, none for 15. Nasir Hussain also wheeled his arm over 2 overs, no maiden, 1 for 5. Got 1 wicket too. In fact, he was the one who actually gave the breakthrough for Bangladesh. No, sorry, it was not Nasir. No, Sohail Ghazi actually gave the breakthrough by picking up the wicket of Hamish Rutherford, who was caught by Abdul Razak going for a shot which was needless, I would say. But as you know, he has his attacking instincts, Rutherford, and he paid the penalty. He was caught. Abdul Razak bowled Sohail Ghazi for 34 with 3 fours and 1 6, and the opening partnership had added 57 runs, and one could safely say that Hamish Rutherford has missed upon an opportunity here on a docile surface. Peter Fulton was there at the crease. He was joined by Kane Williamson. Now Kane Williamson, as soon as he came, one of the strokes, as I always said, that after Martin Crowe, if at all, I mean Ross Taylor we know, but Kane Williamson looks to be a real classic mold player, because the way he got off his mark was a real treat to watch, and that to me was the shot of the day, because Williamson just calmly punched the ball past mid-on. He just it was just a deft touch. He just touched it, and the ball actually spread to the fence. So such was the sense of pure timing from Kane Williamson. And Kane Williamson, as you know, is a very classic batsman. And then there was also one shot that he played past mid-wicket, which really bore a stamp of class. And Kane Williamson and Peter Fulton then slowly started, in the sense, started settling things down for New Zealand, with Kane Williamson playing his strokes with gay abandon, and also showing some very good impregnable defense. And Peter Fulton also decided to occupy the crease, and he played some strokes, and both of them put together a very, very important stand, because this particular stand yielded 126 runs, which was very vital for the second wicket. Well, Peter Fulton went on to make 73, and when the score reached 183, Peter Fulton was a victim, as he was caught by Mominul Haq of the bowling of Nasir Hussain, the part-time off spinner, for 73 with 7 fours and 1 6, and the score read 183 for 2. Now Kane Williamson, as I said, he was playing with gay abandon. He was stroking the ball very freely, and he was also playing strokes on all sides of the wicket, and he was, in fact, Peter Fulton and Kane Williamson actually wore down the Bangladeshi spinners to such an extent that it was very difficult for Bangladesh to see how they would get a breakthrough. And finally they got it when they had Peter Fulton. That was the Nasir Hussain, because of that's the precise reason Mushfiqur Rahim had to resort to Nasir Hussain's part-time spin to put him on track to bowl against Peter Fulton, and he got his wicket. But Kane Williamson then had Ross Taylor for company, but Ross Taylor, and this was the time when things were starting looking good for New Zealand with that second wicket opening partnership. Suddenly towards the close of play, the wickets fell away for New Zealand, and one good thing was that Kane Williamson reached his 4th Test century, and I can very, very safely say now that Kane Williamson is a player to watch for the future for New Zealand. Not only that, he is slowly cementing his place. As you know, he also hit a century in the last series against England, if I'm not wrong. So he is really looking the part now, and I think Kane Williamson is sure to make that one-drop position his own, which once one would probably think of Martin Crowe, who had it, and he was in the classic mold. So according to me, after Martin Crowe, the classest batsman from New Zealand to emerge from the New Zealand shores, according to me, is Kane Williamson. The way he plays, he makes batting look so easy, makes it look, plays some effortless strokes. Ross Taylor then came in, and then suddenly the spinners came into their own, and the spinners were the ones who did the damage. From a score which was looking at 244 for 2, Ross Taylor was the next to go, caught by substitute Naeem Islam of the bowling of Abdul Razzaq for 28 of 47 with 2 fours and 1 6, and then Brendan McCullum, the captain, came in, but none of them were able to. They could only chip in. They couldn't give good company to Kane Williamson. But once Brendan McCullum came in and started settling down, they lost the wicket of Kane Williamson. This was Shakib Al Hasan who actually struck with his left arm spin, as Kane Williamson was trapped LBW after playing a wonderful innings of 114 with 12 fours, and that really shows that New Zealand have really signalled their intentions here, with Kane Williamson leading the way with 114 with 12 fours. That is the only thing that New Zealand can take solace on, and also Peter Fulton's knock of 73 was very good. Brendan McCullum, towards the close, as I said, 3 wickets fell, 244 for 3 when Taylor fell. Kane Williamson fell, the score reached 276, and this was a very big blow with the New Zealand captain. Again, as I said, New Zealand were looking good at 244 for 2, and then Williamson fell, and then Brendan McCullum also towards the close of play if you look at the wickets, in the penultimate over was the one where Kane Williamson's wicket was gone, and in the final over of the innings, which was bowled by Abdul Razzaq, Brendan McCullum was a goner, as he was, and that was stumps. As soon as Brendan McCullum was LBW bowled Abdul Razzaq, the left-arm spinner, for 21 with 3 fours, that was all over, and in the end, it was Bruce Martin, who probably has come as a night watchman, not out or not, That is it. And that was it. When Kane Williamson was out, Bruce Martin came in, but he placed only 4 balls and he was not out on not. 280 for 5 was what New Zealand finished with. Looking at the batting card there, 280 for 5. They still have Brian Watling, who is still there. He will be coming on the second day. That's the precise reason they sent the night watchman Bruce Martin, because they wanted to shield BJ Watling, because if at all they have to get to because 280, even though it is a docile surface, since it is a docile surface, the 280 score doesn't look very challenging, and for New Zealand to really make a real good score, now they require good support from Bruce Martin. Also has shown his abilities as a batsman in England. So if Watling, when he comes down tomorrow to face his first ball, and Brian Watling is a very good batsman, he can really stay at the wicket. And if Brian Watling and Bruce Martin could stitch together a partnership there, which was very important, and then expect Bracewell and Corey Anderson, who can really slam the ball hard and probably get a few useful runs and probably take the score on to 400, which is pretty difficult. But on a docile pitch, as I said, the partnership between Bruce Martin and Brian Watling would be very crucial. If they could get on to that score of 400, that will augur well for New Zealand. So stumps on day 1, New Zealand finishing at 280 for 5. As far as the bowling figures are concerned, as I said, Mushfiqur Rahim, looking at the docile pitch, decided that the slow bowlers were the way to go. And I've already spoken about the bowling figures of the slow bowlers, and slow bowlers were the ones who actually took the wickets, because if you look at all the 5 wickets that has fallen, all the 5 wickets have gone to the spinners. Yes, all the 5 wickets have gone to the spinners, 2 to Abdul Razak, 1 each to Sohail Ghazi, Shakib Al Hasan and Nasir Hussain. And so that's the match situation. And I think considering that the pitch is very docile, there's nothing in the pitch, and we have not been able to see any signs of turn, and probably it is too early to say anything right now, because if rain is going to be forecast and rain is going to fall and the pitch is going to dry out, probably we might see some turn coming in. I thought, as I said, Bangladesh definitely grabbed the honours from New Zealand towards the close of play by picking up 3 important wickets of Taylor, Williamson and McCullum. The spinners were the ones who actually did the job. Well, dear fans, friends, subscribers, on this note, I'm ending my first day report on the first test match between Bangladesh and New Zealand, and I think we have a very good, interesting day's play coming here on the second day at the Zahur Ahmed Chaudhry Stadium in Chittagong. And one hopes, as I said, it's going to be for Bangladesh. If you look at it, it will be good to see whether Bangladesh can really pick up some quick wickets and probably ram home the initiative by probably clearing up the New Zealand batsmen probably before lunchtime. That would do well for them. For New Zealand, they would be thinking of a stabilizing partnership between Bruce Martin and Brian Watling, which would be the key to New Zealand reaching a respectable score. Well, because as I said, the pitch is docile, it's playing very easy, and runs are not hard to come by. So if you can show some application and dedication on this pitch, runs are going to come, and Bangladesh would be surely knowing that. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, on this very note, your host Ram would be ending the cricket show, but promising you that I'll be back with the second day's play report on the match between Bangladesh and New Zealand tomorrow. Until then, it's goodbye. Thank you.